Welcome back, people. I am continuing this video about the acceleration issues for a 2005 Saturn Vue 2.2 liter 5-speed manual transmission. As y'all know, that I've seen and heard of people have problems with the RPMs jumping up and down, causing jerking, buckling, not while shifting, just accelerating down highways, doing 30 or above, or even doing 20, 25 and still have the problem. I've experienced on mine where it would jerk and buckle, doesn't matter what speed you were going. It does not do it when you shift into gear or downshift or go into reverse. People said to change the pedal acceleration throttle position sensor, and I did that, and it didn't seem to help my problem. Well, I ended up changing the map sensor, cleaning out the throttle body. It didn't help. So come to find out, the problem on my end, and this is something y'all really need to check out, is right down there. That's the computer for the engine. There's a ground wire, if you can see right there. Well, when I installed my alternator, I forgot to hook it up and didn't realize it was unhooked. It caused my speedometer to jump up and down, go haywire, caused buckling and jerking, and it made it where my vehicle wouldn't turn on at Walmart garage when I had to replace my battery, and it did the same thing at my house. And I tried sticking the computer to the engine to check for codes. It came up with a code, but my computer said no contact, which means that the vehicle wasn't allowing a little computer to check for codes. So I went down there and checked. When I put the ground back on, I guess it wasn't getting a good contact, so I took some sandpaper, cleaned it off, and couldn't put a washer because I didn't have any, so I put one of those little special little metal clamp things on it, then bolted it back on. Next thing you know, the vehicle was allowing to get contact with a computer, and it cranked right up fine, and I drove it for 3 days so far, and I haven't had any buckling or jerking or nothing. Thought it was a transmission speed sensor. Come to find out, it was not. So I ended up taking the part back. But I guess on these vehicles, they've had problems where the engine computers ain't getting good contact with the ground. So on the 2.2s, that's your ground. So be sure you have it hooked up right, but clean it with sandpaper. Clean the actual ground wire itself, and clean the whole mount where your 10mm bolt will go to bolt down the engine computer as well, and put a washer or some type of metal clamp on it like I did to solve the issue. Now, if it doesn't solve your issue, then you could have another sensor going bad or whatever, but at first I thought that my fuel pump was going bad because I didn't hear it clicking in. When you act like you're going to turn it over, wasn't the problem. Well, the problem was solved on my end. Hopefully it solves yours. So before you start throwing money out, please be sure that you check the engine computer's ground. That will cause a lot of haywire crap, cause your engine light to come on, can cause battery failure, which means the alternator of the battery can be reading faulty. Same thing for your RPMs or your speedometer gauge. It can also cause winding problems on your radio, even if you have an amp installed. It can cause crankage issues where the vehicle will turn over but will not fully crank. Cause the vehicle to have bad fuel mileage, and can also cause your chime to go ding, 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 ding when you have your emergency brake on or when you're in park and just idling. So keep them symptoms in mind, and be sure you try to do it the right way the first time, because I made a mistake not hooking up my ground. I'm hoping this video helps, and subscribe today. I'll be looking forward to your comments.